You have had a hell of a 2019 so far, and we're only, 13th of February. So just to look back, so you were Brits Critics' Choice nominee in 2018. You've made that jump because now you're British Breakthrough Act, which is hard to say, but British Breakthrough Act nominee for 2019. Like, how was it to find out that you were nominated this year?
Emotional. I was literally just finishing my tour and found out, and I was just like, oh my God, it's too much. I'm a crier, so I think I cried, and it's just amazing because I'm always like focusing on the future and like what's my next move, what's the next song, what's the next big step. And it's nice to just have those moments when you're like, oh, just some recognition, and just be like, you did good.
And it's like a climb every year as well. So I feel like next year it has to be British female, right?
I mean, album. That's the goal, or album, yeah. You already know what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and then obviously the step after that, Grammys, and then I suppose you're going to have to start transition across to other award ceremonies. So it'll have to be like Oscars. I can't think of any others.
When I start my very promising acting career.
Exactly, it's all happening. So apart from crying, how did you celebrate?
I was with friends and we had a few drinks and danced and all that stuff. It was so fun, so exciting.
And when it comes to these sort of big award ceremonies, because obviously you were there last year, what's something that happens at them that, say for instance, us watching on TV wouldn't ever notice?
All the bits like in between when you're just like looking at the tables and you're like, oh my God, there's Cheryl, or like there's like Sam Smith, and like, oh my God, now Sam Smith and Cheryl are talking, like that kind of stuff is crazy. And like because it was like my first time like properly sort of like sitting at a table and stuff, like to me it was just like crazy. I felt like a kid, and like meeting other artists and stuff like that. It's just it's such a fun experience. But yes, going as a nominee is going to be different for sure. I mean, there's still time to vote. You can go to the Brits website, brits.co.uk, to vote for me. There's only one day left, so please vote. And we'll see what happens next week.
One day left. Get your votes in. Now, you were saying about how you were looking across the tables, you saw Sam Smith, Cheryl. Who were you kind of most like, wow, is that actually that person about?
I think Kendrick Lamar was sitting not that far from me, and like I'm a super fan. So yeah, that was very surreal, and his performance was amazing. And
do you approach him if you see him, or are you?
Do you know what? I'm really shy when it comes to moments like that. I just think like things need to happen naturally. So I kind of like I left it and just hoping that one day we'll meet, like maybe we'll work together or something. That would be cool.
And what about after the awards? Like last year, did you get to go to one of these big showbiz after parties, or were you just knackered by the end of all of it?
I went to my label after party for a little bit, but I was really tired. I actually left super early last year.
What time is super early for you though?
Probably like midnight or 1 or something. Not late. Like people go in at the Brits. I was tired, and my ponytail was very uncomfortable.
Who goes in the most? Like if you, or out of all of your mates in the industry, who do you think's the biggest party animal? Like if you wanted a good night, who would you go to text to be like, okay, what are your plans after this?
I don't know. Do you know what? I'll let you know after the Brits. We'll see. Who went the hardest.
We'll see your Instagram to see who's dragged you out up until hopefully 2 at least.
I want a 7 a.m.
Good, you're saying it here now.
KMFM, the hit list.
Talking about how you are smashing it this year. You smashed it last year as well. You toured with Harry Styles last year. How was that? Because that must have been amazing.
Very surreal. Like my first experience of like arenas and sleeping on a tour bus and like all those things. So it's like something I'm going to remember forever. He's an amazing artist and such a friendly guy, and yeah, it was such an experience.
Was it the last show where there's a video going around where, was it a pie to the face?
It was a pie to the face.
As you were you performing, was it Finders Keepers?
Yes, it was my last show of the tour, the last song. We were in Dublin and I was really excited, quite emotional. We'd been on a long leg, and he just got up onto stage and threw a pie in his face.
That is cruel. Tell me.
I must say his aim is excellent. He really smothered my arm.
He's got a great pie aim. That's something that we're learning about Harry Styles today.
But it was vegan. See, he's thoughtful.
That is really nice actually, because that isn't something you really think about when you're lobbing a pie into someone's face. Did you get revenge?
No, do you know what? It's so cheeky because it was my last day of tour, and then he carried the tour on and went to Australia. So how was I going to prank him when he was in Australia?
He knew what he was doing there, didn't he?
Yeah, so never managed to get him back.
And now your new single, Don't Call Me Up, is doing big things. It is climbing up the charts at the moment. Tell me a little bit about how that track came about.
I just wanted to make another, song that was going to make people feel good about themselves, make people want to dance, bring confidence, and just look at breakups from a positive light. It's so easy to write sad breakup song after sad breakup song, but actually,
of course,
it's like, no, you know what? You have those moments, empowering moments, when you're like, actually, I'm over this person, and that's always when that person comes back, starts calling you again.
Yeah, of course. And it was written with, was it Steve Mack, who,
Yes,
for people who don't know, he did like Ed Sheeran, Shape of Me, and loads of other songs like that. And was it Camille, who's worked with like Little Mix and Clean Bandit? That must have been amazing, because I suppose they're kind of like legends in the industry at the moment.
Proper.
What was it like working with them?
Yeah, I mean, I was quite nervous, I think, actually, because they're both amazing, as you said, and I was like, we only had a day, and I was like, I really want to get something good today, but I feel like I really brought that energy into the room, and we were all super determined that like we were going to get something really sick. And it was quite obvious that after we'd written it, like straight away we were like, it's different. I was kind of scared. I was like, oh my god, I've never written anything like this before. But it felt like powerful, and like it was going to be special for sure.
Now you've had Don't Call Me Up, you had Ring Ring with Jax Jones. I feel like we're definitely getting like a phone theme at the moment. Any more songs about phones coming? Or is that kind of like the Mabel duo?
I mean, maybe my whole album is phone based. No, do you know what? That's a coincidence. I'm sending a very mixed message there with Don't Call Me Up, but I guess it's just different phases of a relationship. I can't say that I have any plans to make any phone songs, but who knows? Maybe.
But if that iPhone soundtrack deal comes along, then straight in on that.
Exactly.
And you were mentioning about an album, like what's to come from Mabel in 2019?
Yeah, so working on my debut album, I've been saying for a long time, like it's coming, but it's definitely dropping this year. So excited for people to hear what I've been working on, hear the evolution of the music. Right now focusing on the single, obviously Brits next week, we'll see what happens there, and then it's going to be summer in a minute, and festivals, and yeah, it's exciting. Just now that I know what you can do with a year, I'm just like, okay, cool, like I just want to be even bigger and better this time next year.
Completely ready to smash it. And as we mentioned earlier, you've got one day left to vote for Mabel for Brits Critics' Choice British Breakthrough Act
Best
nominee.
British Breakthrough, yeah,
Oh,
go
God.
to Brits.co.uk.
My job is meant to be talking. Brits.co.uk to vote for Mabel. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, I appreciate it.
And I'm going to hit play on Don't Call Me Up now. Can I get you to introduce it on KMFM, please?
I'm Mabel, and this is my song, Don't Call Me Up, on KMFM.
When I'm underneath the bright lights.